The passage that we're going to talk about in this episode is the only passage that allegedly mentions female homosexuality. So, debunking the homo-negative interpretation of this passage clears all female homosexuals. So, this is the passage that we're talking about. They exchanged the truth about God for a lie and worshipped and served created things rather than the Creator, who is forever praised. Amen. Because of this, God gave them over to shameful lusts. Even their women exchanged natural sexual relations for unnatural ones. In the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Although they know God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve death, they not only continue to do these very things, but also approve of those who practice them. In this series, we're going to analyze every passage in the Bible that people use to try to argue against homosexuality. And we're going to look at why I and so many Christians believe that the homo-friendly interpretations make more sense. So let's talk about what this passage says. These people, whoever they were, didn't glorify God. Instead, they worshipped other things, and for that reason, God gave them over to sexual impurity, to shameful lusts. So this was a punishment. Or at least it was a consequence of unwanted behavior, and this consequence is called God's wrath against sinful humanity. I've made myself plain to you. You know me. What, you don't glorify me? You don't say thanks? You are foolish. Your hearts are darkened. You worship things created rather than me, the Creator. I shall give you over to shameful lusts. This is my wrath. Maybe I didn't think this through. Now, through different translations, we read shameful lusts, evil passions, sinful desires, sexual perversion, and anyone who thinks that any of this refers to homosexuals engaging in homosexual acts, they don't know what homosexuality is. I don't think that there is a definitive answer as to what this passage is actually referring to. I do know though, however, that it's important to look at the context when trying to figure that out. So, what do we know about the context? Well, we do know that at the time, relations were not about mutual respect. Instead, they were about a sexual meeting between one superior part and one inferior part. So asymmetrical sexual acts were the norm. In other words, sex was about one who is dominating and one who is being dominated. And therefore it was okay for a free Roman man to penetrate people who were below him, such as a younger man, male slave, or prostitute. And it may very well be this that Paul is referring to. And also, what's this about deserving to die? In Leviticus, there are even translations going, they should be put to death. How can anyone who claims to be Christian refer to a passage that also includes things like that? I mean, that's not a message of love, that's a message of hatred and violence. And finally, notice Paul saying that they are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Look at reality. Look at the many homosexual couples who has promised to be together for the rest of their lives. Follow them for a week, then try looking them into their eyes and tell them that they don't love each other. Also try telling me that I don't have any love for anything at all. And try telling me that I don't have any mercy. I don't even kill most spiders that enter my apartment. I let them out. So whoever people Paul is talking about, it's not about us because we don't fit that description.
So, to sum up today's therapy session, I hear you feel sad because the government didn't help those poor people, is that correct? Huh? Now, have you ever eaten a salad? Yes, you have, yes, of course. Yes. What was this? What? Oh, don't you trust me this is correct? You don't?
I could really rest my case here already. I do still though want to talk about what Paul might have meant with natural and unnatural, because the homo-negative churches really has to agree with the homo-friendly interpretation here, but more about that in the next episode. For now, thank you so much for watching. Bye.